Jess on his right. Hey, hold up. Don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Wake and Jake in the morning. Wake and Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Good morning, Bakers. Whew. Huh. Ricky Rose, he hasn't been out in a while. Good morning, everyone in the Lavalette house. Maybe I'm waking some people up. Good. It's time to get going. It is 10:27 on the East Coast. Imagine doing that. I am coming live from the Lavalette Shore with producer extraordinaire, beautiful man, BBD. Noodle potentially will be on my left during this show. I just saw his tail travel through the kitchen of the house we are staying in at the shore.
Can still see it.
I hope everyone is having a fantastic Labor Day weekend, and maybe like your Labor Day weekend starts now. Labor Day Monday is a big day for people. We had a nice little soiree last night. I should save the dirty tales to the end, all the hot gossip that took place last night. The most code names maybe played in a Jersey Shore house in one day, for sure. As we had about 20 competitors just constantly going at all times. But we are good. I hope everyone else is good. BBD, how are you doing?
Doing well. Can't wait for everyone to hear about all the hot goss from the weekend. Who hooked up with Zach?
Yes.
Who hooked up with Zach without him knowing?
Yeah.
So that's the game we play. So stay for the end for that.
Yeah, that will be a big reveal, and in no way was BBD alluding to himself. No, we are having a good time. I guess we're fully kicking off Beach Week. We recorded Talking Yanks from these seats last night. But we're going to be down here. We're going to be trying to enjoy the first week of September, some beach action. There'll be some good content coming out. And the biggest thing that I mentioned in the tweet I just put out, in no way did we forget the Yankees game is at 1 o'clock today, because that wouldn't change our schedule at all. And we're professionals.
Mm-hmm.
So
we cover the Yankees.
We knew the game was at 1 today. So if we end up tighten it up pretty quick at the end, that could be why. BBD, I wanted to, fake game of the night's been missing for a little bit. Real game of the night. We're having a Yankees funeral, and I guess we'll just open with that because we know the people like that. We come from a Yankees land. I'm wearing a Yankees shirt. We're both Yankees fans. Anytime we put Yankees in the title, we get about double the views. It's just fact.
The Yankees and Dodgers are in the title.
Yeah, I mean, that's
quadruple
business.
Views.
That's just called the business plan. Let's get the Yankee stuff out of the way. Man, the Yankees lost 2 out of 3 to the Orioles this weekend. My goodness. And the way they did it, there's different levels of mad. Like, there's screaming mad. There's, disappointed. There's, so mad you don't know what to do. I kind of landed in that area yesterday with Gleyber Torres. Because I don't know. I've watched a lot of baseball games in my life. And to see a young shortstop double pump a throw, which is something he's kind of had a problem with, and then the team loses by 1 because they gave up a home run the next pitch. It's just frustrating, man. It's like you can't do that in September in a playoff race, and it's not even like Yankee stuff. It's almost more of a shortstop pride thing. Like I've kind of defended Gleyber a good amount because I do think the tools are there. And again, there was a chunk of the season where he he was grading out as one of the better defensive shortstops, which Yankee fans were even honest with people and like,
It shouldn't be that.
it shouldn't be that, but it has felt good for a little bit. Like, he was making the plays.
It's been, like, decidedly not a problem for, I don't know, what amounts to about half a season.
Yeah. Like a early middle chunk of the season. And I don't know. It's so funny how the sport works, and I know we have a lot of baseball fans in here, and I'm excited to talk San Francisco and the Dodgers. That's wild, man, what those teams are up to right now. But I figure get my Yankee spiel out of the way. I don't know. They're a half game up in the wild card. And so let's do some baseball emotions. Yankees are fairly dead. Trade deadline. Rizzo, Gallo, bang, boom. Heen dog. We're going to try not to talk about him. Do we like my gentle shore voice? Little late night phone radio. Zach Esposito and BBD. Then they have some Covey stuff go down after the deadline. And it's like, oh, God. Is this really how this whole season's going to go? Like, Judge was out, and they needed him bad. Rizzo, who was, like, out in the world as he didn't get the vaccine and stuff. He has some genuine excuses from, like, having cancer and stuff. But, like, you're worried about him as a person. And
he also got it like when he was the hottest hitter alive for
a
week and a half.
He essentially
right when he came over.
Won the Yankees his first 3 games, which is pretty wild. So then the COVID guys start coming back. Cole got it. Monty got it. They go to the Field of Dreams game. They're on the national stage. Everyone's like, this is cool. I like this. And the Yankees mount an awesome comeback. Andrew Heaney started that game, by the way. Oh, my God. That was my soul leaving my body. They lose that game after the incredible comeback. Tim Anderson pimps the walk-off, and the Yankees go on to win 13 straight after that, announcing themselves to Major League Baseball. Times are exciting. This is cool. The Yanks are back. Their record, they passed the White Sox, like record-wise.
They at one point were in a tie for the second-best record in the AL, and it was with Houston, who they won the season series against, so briefly, they had the second-best record in the American League.
And now,
in August,
their win streak comes to an end. They were playing Oakland West Coast trip, and it was like, whatever. It had to end at some point. It was a game that they kind of could have had. They lost 3-2, lose the next day 3-1. And they drop 2 to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Cole wins to salvage it. You come back home, all right. We're playing the Baltimore Orioles. It's time to feast. Tampa Bay Rays are 18-1 against them.
They're 17-1. One loss.
I think it's 18-1. I think they're done.
Yeah, I know they're done. I don't know if
it.
it's 18 or 19 games that they play.
The Yankees win the first game 4-3 in 11 innings, and you say, well, hey, baseball, that happens, right? They lose the next 2, 4-3, 8-7, 2 one-run losses to the Orioles. Their last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Their last 8 games have been 2-run games, either direction. That's fucking taxing on a team, man. And they're in a 20-game stretch. And their questions, you're in a 13-game win streak. Your questions almost don't matter. You're excited. Whatever production you're getting from people is enough to win, and you blind yourselves with that. Now, Gleyber Torres is back. What's he going to bring? He hasn't hit all year. He's supposed to be a hitting shortstop, a premier hitting shortstop.
Offense first.
So when he gives you a bad defensive moment, you say, well, he's going to be one of the few shortstops to hit 30 bombs this year. OPS is in the 6. While meanwhile, there's a kid from the Bronx who everyone's excited about, whose OPS is similar, but he runs fast, plays really good defense. Gio Urshela has been on the IL. He might be coming back. Is he
He's
in today's
starting
lineup?
today. And it
So
might, truth be told, I would think that's much more likely because Rugi got hit in the hand yesterday and, like, clearly hurt.
Judge and Stanton were incredibly hot. Judge had a tough series against the Orioles, which that was really weird. DJ LeMahieu's been off all season. Corey Kluber is building up a pitch count during a pennant race where he gets 3.2 innings against the Birds. The Yankees, and let me get the wild card standings out. They're a half game up on the Boston Red Sox for home field. 2 games in the loss column. It is loss column time of year.
In the last month, you can put a lot more emphasis on that.
I just believe that's when it kicks in. I think there's
Yeah.
so much going on during the other months of the season that's like, all right, let's get there and figure it out. But that's often my way to get through life. Yankees are a half game up on the Boston Red Sox. The Seattle Mariners are 3 games back of the wild card. The Toronto Blue Jays and Oakland A's are 4. So, man, there's some spin zones there. The Mariners have won 5 in a row. They deserve love and so don't at the same time. And I'm sorry, Mariners fans. It's just not a nice way to put that to you, but you have a negative 46 run differential.
Mariners fans, happy for you.
Enjoy.
But there's an element of, and this season was the Kevin Mather stuff. It's hard to root for that organization. Right?
You have to understand, if you put the Yankees, Red Sox, Mariners, Blue Jays, and Oakland Athletics on paper and some of the statistics, the Mariners are last in that boat. But good. I want them to stay involved. Make it messy. I'm about that. Toronto comes in to play the Yankees for 4 or 3? I think it's 4, right?
4 game set.
Toronto Blue Jays have won 4 in a row. They see the Yankees 4.5 games ahead of them with their season on the line. It's going to be interesting.
I mean, the Yankees, they had, coming into this weekend, they had 6 games on the season left against the Orioles where, like, everyone was saying you kind of got to go 5-1, take care of business in those 6 games. They already can't do that.
Right.
And if they had taken care of business against them this weekend, preferably with a sweep, you'd be like, all right, just split with the Blue Jays and it's okay. Now you'd like, I need 3 out of 4 at least.
Yeah,
I mean, like, we'll be okay mathematically, but
and there's a lot that goes on around it too. I mean, the Red
How you
Sox are
get
playing
there.
the Rays. What's going to happen there? Is either team going to turn on the screws? I mean, what's the Rays lead in the division now? Tampa leads the Yankees by 7.5 games. They're gone. They're gone. Their playoff percentages are 99.9%. That's good.
it would be something historic.
Yeah. No. And it won't be.
No,
It's
it's already.
team wins games.
We're getting dangerously close to mid-September.
Mid-September. Wow. September 6th, BBD.
Yeah,
September
in a
truthers are
week.
going to come for you. Or
Yeah.
weekend. People are talking. Let's see. What else around the league? Houston. So, I guess I should tie that off before we do more league talk. What do we got? 4 weeks? 7 times 4 is 28.
28.
28 plus 6 is 34. Season goes to October 3rd. That's pretty good math. Yeah, I mean, the last day of the season is a Sunday. So it was 4 weeks from yesterday?
Yeah. They have 26 games left.
You play like 3 weeks of good baseball, you're going to be feeling all right about yourself. Yankees Red Sox is going to be a 1-game wild card.
Feels like we're heading there.
If you're podcast only, you're missing the feelings of that travel through my body. Oh,
Dogs.
dogs say hi. They're getting excited for the wild card, and they're coming in. Okay, we got Mac, Maisie, Noodles heading this way. Someone on the back porch. That's a lot of Yankees talk. Let's do some other stuff. BBD, any Yankees thoughts? Be good for 4 weeks, please.
Just be good, and
for
I'll
3
feel
weeks.
like good.
Yeah.
Yeah, vibes. Like all the goodwill of the 13-game winning streak is kind of gone.
Mm.
I guess not completely gone because they are in the top wild card spot right now.
Right.
Before that, they were not in the postseason picture. we're hoping to scratch and claw our way to the second spot.
Right.
But it does.
We didn't know if that was possible.
It does feel like we're destined for the second spot and going to Fenway, which when you look at the full season, is fair. But
that man, what was their biggest weed? What was their biggest weed? What was their biggest lead in the wild card? Like 3 games?
I think
4
they got
games?
up to 3.
So I guess you can't get terribly mad about blowing that. I mean,
And a chunk of the blowing it was done like you were directly playing the A's. Kind of fair.
A lot of wild card games, you're just going to jump to the best starting pitcher, which the Yankees will have Garrett Cole lined up as long as they don't fully blow things and get out of there. Man, it's a big difference between playing in Fenway Park or Yankee Stadium. Literally, look at the stadiums. You have one of the shorter right fields in baseball, and you have a big wall in the middle of where left fielders normally stand. The energy is obviously different. I mean, to have that decide your seasons with the Red Sox was beautiful for the first 3 months. 4 even, falls apart. The Yankees was hideous. Then, as good as it gets in baseball world, their longest win streak since, what was it, like the 80s? 90s?
Maybe it might be even longer. This is their first 11-game streak since 85, I think, and they got to 13.
You know, the Yankees were in baseball nirvana for a little bit, and now more questions than answers.
You get to a wild card game, and Curcel's the best swing and miss pitcher in baseball.
What's Sale look like?
And they're right-handed, so
yeah,
they got all these righties to beat Chris Sale in 2018 and 19.
Worked then.
And you'll have Garrett Cole going, who on DraftKings is the favorite for Cy Young.
DraftKings, BBD. Wow. Feels like a good chance to talk about them before we talk about the rest of the league. DraftKings is back, by the way, and so they give us an ad read. Let's peel back the curtains. DraftKings give us an ad read. It's about the NFL. The NFL is back. DraftKings Sportsbook, they're the official sports betting partner of the NFL. They're giving away an incredible deal. Bet $1 on NFL games during the first week and receive $200 in free bets instantly. Wow. $200 free dollars. And guys, here's the part that's not in the ad read. With Little Poppy being in New Jersey, been placing bets. Normally in Manhattan. Not legal there yet.
On its way.
It's en route. It will be one day soon.
Did it get?
I
think they passed a vote, but they get to get infrastructure in place.
Who knows how the government works?
I think a casino in the state might have to open first.
I
feel like I'm making that up so completely.
Yeah. And what's a casino? Because they got those. Anyways, I'm going into my DraftKings account right now. Just logged in. Typed in my password. I have an open parlay. Ole Miss and Notre Dame. We'll talk a little college football at the end of this. Just need Ole Miss to win. That would be $34 in my bank account. Whoops. Sorry about that. Adam was blazing a lot of bets yesterday. Dodgers plus 2.5 hit that live. That Pujols home run saved me. Anyways, football starts this week. I will continue to be down here Thursday. Let me know what you're betting. But yeah, a reminder, if you sign up for DraftKings, $200 in free bets when you place a $1 bet on any Week 1 NFL game. It's a crazy deal. It's a crazy deal. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOHNBOY to receive $200 in free bets when you place a $1 bet on any Week 1 game. That's promo code JOHNBOY. Get your free $200 in free bets instantly for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older. New Jersey, Indiana, or PA only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER in Indiana. 1-800-9 with it. Oh.
Shohei Ohtani's odds for MVP right now on DraftKings. minus 5,000.
That feels good. I think he could stop playing today. I'm not sure anything could happen.
I think now. I think now he's good.
I don't think anything could happen. I'm trying to think.
If he got hurt beginning of August or something and was going to miss the whole year, or not, if he just hit,
it's September 6th.
He pitched enough, and I'm saying if he got hurt a month ago, even then, if he just kind of hit the rest of the year and didn't pitch, he did enough. He's got it.
We've done this a little bit before, but if Shohei opted out tomorrow, he's tired, the Angels stink, he's done.
I don't want to get hurt.
Doesn't want to be here anymore.
I don't want to be around anymore.
Noodle on my left. Vlad or Judge would have to, homer out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which isn't a baseball term. It's not.
They'd
Not
have to put up, the best month ever.
Ever. So I don't see that happening. So, hey, if you want to, it's a bad return, but could be safe money. DraftKings, go check that out. BBD, let's round out baseball a little bit. The other really cool conversation and a team that should get a lot of love today. Excuse me. The San Francisco Giants. The San Francisco Giants, who have been this year's miracle team. That's a really bad way to phrase it. They've just been incredible out of nowhere. They've had the best record in baseball throughout this season. Meanwhile, with the big bad Los Angeles Dodgers in their rear view, and what did the Dodgers do at the deadline? They had Max Scherzer and Trey Turner, who Scherzer probably has the name you know around baseball. Trey Turner is probably the better baseball player. He might be top 10 MLB baseball player. Anyways, and by the way, Max Scherzer's been pitching so well, he's brought himself into the NL Cy Young competition. But part of that was because Walker Buehler got knocked around. And did my guy Corbin Burns, but we'll move on past that for now. The Giants take 2 out of 3. They win the first game. I was going to do it as a game of the night or fake game of the night. One of the weirdest endings I've ever seen to a baseball game. It looks like a routine ground ball to second. Trey Turner. Buster Posey running, the 34-year-old catcher, which someone got lost in this. And it's a throw to first, and Will Smith is on first base, normally a catcher. And it just looks like a bizarre stretch where his back foot comes off the base. It wasn't a perfect throw, but it was a throw that I think a first baseman catches with their foot on the base. And I think Trey Turner was getting beat up a little bit. I think he got the error.
Yeah, by the book, that's his error.
But I don't know. If you haven't seen the play yet, it's worth bringing up just to be like, the game ended on that between two of the best team in baseball. It's almost unreal. I don't know. You just don't see that during baseball. So the Giants take game 1. Evan Longoria came back for them in that game. And then the Dodgers take the second game of the series. They win 6-1, kind of dominant Dodger fashion. Scherzer, man, he's genuinely in the Cy Young race, which is insane. Or excuse me, that was Urias. Scherzer pitched for. Or now I'm just getting lost, confusing my notes. Either way, Buehler pitches yesterday in the rubber match, and it's Walker Buehler, who I think at that moment was probably the lead for the NL Cy Young. I mentioned Corbin Burns got hit a little bit. The San Francisco Giants, who we don't know where to give them proper respect. Because, their hitting's been good, but it's not a lot of the names you do know are from yesteryear. They're older. It's Buster Posey. It's Evan Longoria. The newer names aren't like touted prospects. They traded for Chris Bryant. Yastrzemski, Darren Ruff is starting. 35 years old for Darren Ruff. Darren Ruff is older than Buster Posey. Darren Ruff is older than Brandon Crawford. Okay, it's a Darren Ruff show. They're hitting.
Same age as Trevor Plouffe.
The San Francisco Giants are second in home runs, 6th in OPS, 10th in average in OBP. I think their pitching got a lot of a credit, and rightfully so, because guys like Gossman, DeScalfani, I think if you watch them, they had made the turn. Their starting pitching has an third best ERA in baseball. Their relief pitching has the second best ERA in baseball. And who was the Giants? Jimmy's been on a Team A can't hit good pitching. Was it the Giants?
Might have been. Either them or.
Because it wasn't
Was
the
the
Dodgers.
Brewers?
I think it was the Giants.
Yeah.
I think it was because it was a lot of NL West box scores because we looked up Dodger pitchers, we looked up San Diego. So this could be a very big notch in their belt. And also, who knows? The Dodgers were wearing their all-blue jerseys, which looked a little bizarre. It's just a lot of blue for a Sunday night.
It looks out of a video game.
Very video
Which is
gamey.
like you use those in the show. They're cool looking there.
It's Sunday night.
They're jarring in real life.
Sunday night, I've had a couple Trulies. It's Labor Day weekend. See all that blue. A little daunting from the Dodgers. The hats are bad. They put up 6 earned runs on Walker Buehler. And, hey, maybe it's one game. Maybe he was tipping. Maybe he just didn't have it. Who knows? But, man, they got to Walker Buehler. That raised his ERA to 2.31. That's how good of a year Walker Buehler's been having. And, by the way, the Dodgers fought back in this game. Their bullpen goes shutty the rest of the way. Albert Pujols hits a big 2-run homer to make it 6-4, wins me my DraftKings bet. Unfortunately, I could have won a little more because I had other Dodger action out there. Mookie Betts gets called out on a terrible strike 3 pitch, which brings me back to Jake's. How are we not? Teams should have 1 or 2, if you win, strike appeals a game. It has to be obvious. I get it. We're looking at a plate and a box, and it doesn't always make sense. But, man, the Mookie Betts strikeout, I think we could get a group of people together, review it, and say, that's not a strike.
Happened.
Because guess what? Guess what just happened? Mookie Betts, one of the biggest faces of the game. It's in L.A. now. He's won an MVP. He's a stud. He's hot. Giant contract. L.A. One of our stars of the game was up on Sunday Night Baseball in a massive moment. And he gets called out on a strike 3 pitch out of the zone. What's the other sport equivalent of that? I don't even have it.
Oh. Basketball just
Like
doesn't happen.
calling a carry on LeBron with 5 seconds left.
Yeah, I guess a travel on LeBron or Giannis or something.
I don't know, man. I mean, when you really zoom out, because as baseball fans, we're immune to it because we're like, yeah, sometimes borderline pitches go one way or the other. There's an argument this pitch wasn't even borderline. And then when you really zoom out and get out of your baseball head and say one of the best players in the game was on in what's supposed to be their premier slot, holiday weekend. And how did it end? Does he get beat? Does he win? The ump kind of calls a strike on him that's not. It's not great. Not great, Bob. Yeah, I guess, the chat's going right now. What's going on, chat? By the way, I've got you up. Ed Strudis, Tom Ace, holding in football. You could kind of call that any play.
Mm.
Like, Yeah, like a big third and 7. You just call a holding instantly. You can call it either way.
That is the best equivalent.
Pass interference
call
on
that every time.
pass interference on a Hail Mary. That's a little different because that actually creates more action. You would just be sad if your team got a
Get
called
the short
against
end
you.
of that.
Holding might be the good one. So yeah, I don't know.
Holding is such the winner.
Holding's pretty good.
So yeah,
Holding's
I guess it's similar to calling a travel in that, like, yeah, they probably travel just about every possession, but like LeBron's allowed to do that. Any of the stars are like allowed to do that.
Whoops.
So I guess it's similar because yeah, you could find a hold every play.
Right, if you want it, it's there. Hey, good for the Giants for winning. Interested to see what we're talking about on Talking Baseball, which we think is going to be around 12, going to be around our regular time. We'll be setting that up in a little bit. 12 Eastern Standard, if Trevor Plouffe's listening. They go one game up on the Dodgers. I think they play once more, probably in L.A. Let me bring that up. Giants are going to Colorado, which, again, isn't a cupcake series. Rockies have been great at home this year. They play the Cubs, who are a little bit dying. Home versus San Diego, home versus Atlanta, at San Diego, at Colorado, my Snakes, and then home versus San Diego again. So, geez, let's see what San Diego's got down the stretch because the Giants have 10 games against them. That's pretty crazy. That can dictate either of their season. Meanwhile, the Los Angeles Dodgers, which, if they end up in a one-game playoff, how bizarre would that be? Dodgers? They go at St. Louis, home versus San Diego. My Snakes at Cincy, at Colorado. My Snakes, San Diego, and Milwaukee. And that last Milwaukee series is probably just going to be winning won't be the priority for the Brewers. I think it'll be lining up their team. The Dodgers or the Giants ending up in a one-game wild card is going to be disgusting. That's how the sport is set up right now. And it will either be against the Padres, who are currently in the second spot in the wild card. Cincinnati Reds are a half game back. The Phillies, BBD's Philadelphia Phillies, are 2.5 back. Cardinals are 3, Mets are 4, so they're around. Again, a lot would have to happen for them to get back in the mix.
They're in the range where you can talk yourself into it as an option.
They still meet the requirements to be discussed. Everyone else does not. White Sox still running away with the AL Central. Houston, 4.5 up on the Mariners. How hilarious would that be if they got in the mix? The Atlanta Braves are 2 games up on the Phillies. The Mets are 3.5 back. Hey, Mets, you get some snaps. You had your easy schedule, and you had to get back in the mix, and you did.
Took care of business, despite your best efforts not to.
You've now won 3 out of 4 versus the Nats. They play again today. Make
5 game set.
Make that 4 out of 5. You know, you wanted
You're
5,
fine.
but they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They've won 7 out of 8, and they needed to. We talked about that. They got off to the worst step. They lost a 2-1 game to the Nats. Since then, they've won 7 out of 8. Baez had a huge game. Cohen's tweeting about
Lindor
it.
with a couple big homers.
Lindor with a couple big homers.
I think Mets fans would probably say those are the 2 guys that it was most important to get going for so many reasons.
And by the way, you know, I believe in storylines. That's how I fill out my March Madness bracket. Ploufe's a storyline guy, talking baseball. 1 more game against the Nats. 3 at Miami. Who again? Miami.
In Miami, it's been
a house of
they
horrors
think of
for
that
them.
the way we think of the Trop.
A little bit. They do see Alcantara and Luzardo, which, who knows. What are we going to be saying this weekend, BBD? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the New York Mets play the New York Yankees. In City, September 11th weekend. That is going to be...
Some teams pretty desperate to do some winning.
Whoever loses 2+ games is going to be in a dark spot. because either the Yanks will probably be falling out of the home of the wild card, or the Mets could be losing their season. So
Both teams this year have had a tendency to not rise to the moment.
I think both fan bases would bet against their team in that series. DraftKings. Rays continue to be gross. Phillies are around. ESPN's playoff percentage has them at 30%. Braves continue to survive and are sneaky looking like a kind of a quality team.
They're starting to just run away with it a little.
They're not running away. They gotten caught and they split
4-6 in their last 10.
They had a tough stretch, man. They hosted the Giants. They won that series. They got swept by the Dodgers, which is tough. 2 one-run games. And then they split with the Rockies in Colorado, which is actually a win. A lot of teams haven't been doing that. But they have off day and then the Nats. And then Miami and then Colorado at home. So I do think we'll be sitting here in a week and a half, and the Braves probably have it opened up to like 4 again.
Mm.
But we'll see what that means. And the Atlanta Braves finish 3 versus Philly, 3 versus the Mets. So those teams
5 of those teams are in striking distance there.
That's all you got to do, kind of. Well, then you got to win those games. The Brewers are gross. That's just kind of it.
They just kind of do it.
They're 84-54. They're sneaking up. They could track down best record in the National League. Probably don't see it happening.
Might not want it.
He also might not want it. Yeah, we'll talk some playoff seeding and stuff coming up. But that's pretty much every team you need to know. What did our Reds do? Phillies are in the mix. Reds lost the series to the Tigers. Kind of can't be doing that. We'll talking baseball coming up in a little bit. We'll be going around the league. Myself, BBD, Trev, Jumboy. That'll be a good time. Beebs, let's do some loose other sports. The only real thing that's out there is college football. I'm more in than I was last year. I'm interested to see what that means. Last year was pretty bizarre. Kind of still mid-COVID. Schedules were getting mixed up. As a casual college football fan, it was tough to sink my teeth in.
They're like structurally back to normal, right?
I think so. I think like everything's running. And the games, whether it's been a flip channel or I've been like watching some games, Penn State, Wisconsin, that was some classic Big Ten football. Sooners were almost the big upset of the weekend. They went 40-35 against Tulane. What was the other? Alabama, Roll Dam. We shocked. Shouldn't be. What else actually stands out on here? Texas is always a college football storyline. They won their first game against a ranked opponent. Sarkisian's the coach there. Speaking of, USC won. The big game this weekend, and I guess this is not the problem for college football. Georgia played Clemson. Fifth-ranked Georgia versus third-ranked Clemson. Huge game. Both these programs have been monsters. 10-3 final. Clemson's first game without Trevor Lawrence. I feel bad for DJ Ugalele. I think I'm close to saying that name right, but if not, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's a tough transition out of Trev Lawrence. Georgia Bulldogs football, good for them, I guess. I feel like Georgia football for me has been, if they beat Bama in the SEC championship game, they go to the college football playoff. And that's a really tough ask for any team. But I think I'm going to be getting into college football this year. So maybe in the comments and stuff, give me some of your college football stuff. I know the other fun story right now, UCLA and Chip Kelly.
Ooh.
Used to be like a huge player in college football. Like Chip Kelly was one of the dudes at Oregon. Like changing the game. They beat LSU in UCLA, 38-27 though, like kind of convincing. The other story last night was Notre Dame and Brian Kelly saying he wanted to execute all his players. Did you hear that quote yet, Baby Day? It's as, there's the football guy stereotype. It's as dumb football guy as it gets. Sent it to the sideline reporter after the game. And, they almost blew the game.
And that wasn't just, like, bad analogy.
No.
Like he didn't mean literally.
I mean, I guess, so I can find it pretty quick because it was sent to me multiple times last night. So I think it might start as a joke.
Think of your team's ability to withstand Florida State's impressive comeback.
I'm in favor of execution. Maybe our entire team needs to be executed after tonight. I mean, we just didn't execute very well. And
So it was an execution joke. Classic.
Okay.
Our team didn't execute properly. And
You
he
can't
just
say that,
He just
but
spun that
that's-
into murdering a bunch of 20-year-old kids.
Yeah, can't say that, but I'm less
It's
confused
just a
now.
classic joke, people. Get off your butts about it. Notre Dame wins. They almost blew it. They gave up 18 points in the fourth quarter without scoring for Florida State to tie it. So, okay. Brian Kelly was mad. Still, you just don't say that. You don't say that. You don't say that. I'm interested in college football. Tweet at me, comment me, college football stuff. NFL kicks off Thursday. There's really hasn't been updates there, right? Like, we're just waiting.
Yeah, starts Cowboys, Bucks.
Cowboys,
Thursday.
Bucks, Thursday night. We'll be talking to you guys before then. NBA, like, Marcus Aldridge is out of retirement. He's going to the Nets. Kind of not a shocker, kind of how the NBA works. The funny plot twist to that is DeAndre Jordan is released. It looks like he's going to the Lakers. Just funny because DeAndre was supposed to be a big part in putting together the Nets.
Technically, Katie and Kyrie took less than max deals when they originally got there to clear up a 4 for 40 for him.
For DeAndre, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, just some funny NBA moving parts there. NBA's so unique.
Yeah.
We'll see if Ben Simmons actually gets traded. That would be cool when it does happen. It's just been a rumor mill festival, so.
Yeah, maybe more on that soon.
Ooh, whammy. BBD, let's keep it moving. Start wrapping things up as we do have a pregame show to do. Our last episode, and it's still kind of fresh, we did a full NFL preview with Bobby Skinner of talking Giants, talking football, John Boy Media. Big Bobby. Big Bobby's a good time, and he knows his stuff. Me and BBD got to yuck it up with him about football. If you haven't listened to that, I would still go check it out before Thursday. We cover a lot. We got roasted in the comments for our picks. It's so funny, man. The internet is so ridiculous. Like, okay. The NFL is historically known that the playoffs are never all chalk.
It's never what you think going into the season.
I think it's literally 50% of playoff teams change like every year. It's like clockwork. I think it's part of the reason the NFL is so popular. Your team can get back in the mix.
Teams turn around and go from being good
So,
to being bad so often.
If you're predicting
Other way around.
NFL teams, you take a couple chances. I had the Las Vegas Raiders as my last wildcard team. Would I bet Young Noodle's life on that? Maybe.
Just straight up a bet on them making the playoffs.
If I got good value on it. No, I wouldn't bet Noodle's life on that. But you just have to know how football works. And this is Gruden and Mayock's third, fourth year together. They're in Vegas. You know, I don't believe in my Broncos. The Chargers are talented, but they never seem to put it together. Herbert was really good last year, and they still stunk. That it's like, well, could a second team come out of the West? I don't know. I'm taking a chance. Go check out the Instagram comments on our post from last week. I think it was on the John Boy Media main account. And it's just hilarious.
Good time.
It's just hilarious. How could you not pick my team? Anyways.
I'll give the commenters a little, like, all three of us not having 49ers making the playoffs. One of us should have had them making the playoffs. So just an 0 for 3 there. But they can so easily, I still believe in my picks.
They have a lot of talent.
There.
Who's their quarterback?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good NFL question.
It's like same question that kept the Colts off, I think, all of our boards too.
Not an electric comment. And by the way, I ask you guys to bake the algorithm. Leave a like. Leave a comment. Leave a review. Have some fun.
Whatever that system is on the way you like to watch or listen.
Click something. Either share or a like button or whatever it is. Leave a comment.
Tell a buddy about it.
Ryan Deacon, he said, it's Steak and Jake. Which I don't know if that's a Bobby comment or if that's just changing words that also rhyme, but it made me laugh.
Either way, I like it.
And then Normal Dog, who's a friend of the company at this point.
Yeah. I think he's the commissioner of the Wake and Jake League, which drafted yesterday.
Wow, huge. I think I got a late invite to the league, but I was doing Labor Day stuff, so I'm sorry. But we'll get you updates on the Wake and Jake Fantasy Football League. According to all known laws of aviation, there's no way that a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies away because bees do not care what humans think is impossible. So it's kind of a spiritual journey. I don't even know how you label that, really.
So be the bee.
Be the bee, I guess. I guess is what we're telling people nowadays. Someone said they picked up Daniel Jones, and they liked the Daniel Jones Hype Fest. So be cool if he's good.
Yeah.
Like, not even, you're a Giants fan.
My Daniel Jones thing is I think he's capable of being good enough.
It would just
I don't think he's ever going to be a top 5 guy, but
is a sentence I never thought I'd say. But New York needs a quarterback, man. I mean, Eli was very cool. 2 championships. He was Eli, but that made it fun. And New York kind of liked that, and the Mannings and all that. It worked.
He came up the end of the Jeter times too. So for a while he was
just
a quiet guy. And we find out by the end, wait, he's really funny.
New York needs another.
It's kind of actually funny.
Whether it's Jets or Giants, and that's where I'll get the Giants fans mad at me. Let's get a star quarterback in New York. Seems like a layup.
I'll give the Jets some love. In this summer, I was on the drive to do my gas station thing. I flipped on the fan for a little bit. Heard a couple Zach Wilson quotes, and I liked them.
Okay.
He seemed to have a good attitude about the preseason and everything. I don't think there's anything groundbreaking, but he's talking about thrown a lot of interceptions in practice, but I'm taking chances on throws. If I'm too scared to make mistakes in practice, how am I ever gonna do anything difficult in a game? And just the tone in which he said it, I was like, I don't think he's gonna be a problem.
Sure.
At least up here.
It's a start.
Don't know about his abilities, but he was picked second overall, so he's probably good.
They like him. He did that one Mahomes throw. I saw the chat asking who my college football team is. I've always struggled with that a little bit. UConn, before they just embarrassed their entire program by hiring Paul Pasqualoni a couple years back. Their coach just announced he's going to retire after the season. We're a game in, 2 games in, so that's not a great sign. And then, Vandy, you guys know I'm a Vandy guy, and they also just a bad football program. So I don't know. That's why I've never been fully entrenched. I like teams. I like players. I get hooked where I get hooked. So we'll see. I'm open. I'm open to getting recruited every year. I was a big USC guy growing up. Aaron Boone. Fight on. Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart. All of those teams were just awesome.
I'm so tangentially in on college football. Like by the end of the year, I know the big stories that happened, and I feel like comfortable with that. And I check out the playoff games on purpose a bit.
Yeah.
Like
They've timed them well now
Yeah.
with like New Year's and Christmas and stuff.
there's a little bit like KFC from Barstool did the tweet yesterday, and I think he does it like every year. It's like, I don't know, from New York, didn't go to a college football school, and I have baseball
Right.
teams that are like important right now.
Right.
It's the playoffs, so
Right.
it's hard for me to like. I don't have a college football team.
Right. No, that makes sense. If you're in the Northeast and you don't go to a college football program, which in the Northeast is like Notre Dame,
Yeah, I guess Syracuse has had years.
Syracuse, Boston College, but I mean those are
Yeah.
those are
On like the
those are
national
pretty
level,
bad football programs.
on the national level, it's like no. They've turned in some nice pros, but
BBD, let's keep it grooving and shaking because we got a lot to do. We'll go bro of the night. I saw some people in the comments, and I'm just going to give out a lot of bro of the nights. I'm just going to start reeling them off, and maybe that'll become a hilarious bro of the night segment. Patrick Cantlay won $15 million for playing golf. That's an insane amount of money. Second place, John Rahm got $5 million. So, I don't know, people. I can understand if you're not into golf. Golf's kind of cool. I mean, don't get into it because they're giving away big money, but when you see people playing golf for big money, that's pretty cool. That's that. Brian Kelly gets a bruh. Who else was a big part of this sports weekend? I guess Chip Kelly, that would be cool. I guess I'm kind of going to root for UCLA. I'm open to that.
interested.
If they're like fun and cool in a story, I'm into that. LA, Chip Kelly. Anything else? No. No, I think those are my bro of the nights. BBD, what do you got?
So someone in the chat said we talked about the Mariners earlier this episode,
Yeah,
but he just writes, "How about them Ners?"
Ners is good.
That's right up my alley.
Ners
My
is
bro of the night is a guy who was among the leaders of recipients of this for different reasons. Ben Simmons. The rumors are starting to get a little hotter in the streets. Not that any like teams have been connected, but just like I don't know. He's like officially asked for the trade, and like everyone knows that he doesn't want to come back. Everyone knows the Sixers don't want him back.
Right.
So on both ends of that, they have absolutely no leverage, but they're still trying to ask for like a big package. Like my guy was like, yeah, they're like they want a lot for him, and nobody's gonna give up a lot for him. It's like what the heck are they gonna do? And I have no idea what's gonna happen. Like I think if they want like real NBA players, probably like the Kings can give you the nicest package.
I guess that was going to be my question to you as BBD NBA is, does Ben Simmons end up on a relevant team or an irrelevant team?
I lean irrelevant.
Like when the
'cause
first
they
words out
try
of your
to-
mouth is Kings.
Like that's kind of what like the Kings he can bring them to
Something.
like he can probably make them relevant.
Yeah.
Like, he
Maybe.
can like, if they flip the right piece, they have a couple nice young guys there. If you can only give up like one of them and not a boatload of picks,
That's their way to get Ben Simmons. Is
Yeah.
trade for him and make him their guy.
Ben Simmons is
They
not
don't-
going to.
They don't get
pick
him in
them.
free agency. Yeah. That's kind of
So you can do that. That makes them at least a much better regular season team. And if you somehow, like, how are you supposed to trade for him and believe in him to be fixed the next time he's in a playoff series until you see it?
Yeah.
I don't think he can't do it, but
Yeah. Still really young.
really young.
24, 25?
Yeah, I think he'll be 25 this year.
Ben Simmons' age. He's interesting.
I think he's
I'm
still 24
20
right now.
25, July 20th.
Since we last
this will
talked
be his
about
age
him.
25 season. So I'll buy some Simmons stock. I don't necessarily believe in it fully,
Yeah.
but
If this was a year ago, I'd have been interested in the Knicks doing it. Not now. because the Knicks had a
tell
good
you
enough
what.
season that now it's like, well, you kind of need guys that you know are going to be able to help you.
I would be very interested to see our conversations because we would talk ourselves into them, but we'd be very scared.
Yeah.
Very scared.
I'd say so many good things if it happened.
It's a big bet to
And
make, man.
like everyone just grab like any of the clips anytime we've talked about them from the last 3 months.
Ben Simmons, is he still dating Maya Jama?
Not in my book.
In my book. Looks nice. It's a good one, BBD. Yeah, we'll see. That'll be interesting if that actually
And
when
like
it becomes a
it
thing.
usually happens soon. Like training camp is 2
NBA will
weeks
see- yeah.
away.
NBA, they start playing what, October?
Yeah, they moved it up, get more
Move it
off
up,
days.
Move it up. It's a good bro, BBD. Would love to see something happen there because I enjoy Ben Simmons. I do.
And it
Plays
kind
really
of,
good defense.
It kind of wasn't like a seismic change in the NBA this offseason, unless something's just escaping my mind. And that would be, I
it's
guess, like
just-
the biggest singular move.
Everyone wanted to get healthy. The Lakers did all that weird stuff.
Lakers just kind of like got like all the ring chasers together.
Mm.
Cool. The Russ trade.
Russ. We'll catch up with
Everyone
the NBA.
keeps forgetting Russ is there, including me.
Yeah,
Nobody, including me, is doing anything about it.
including me. BBD, let's start wrapping up. What are we watching? Apparently there's a full slate of Labor Day baseball, like
A
one
lot of day games, which I really thought was gonna happen.
It felt like we knew, and then we didn't know. Yeah, they run all night. That's going to be kind of cool. The late night game is Texas and the Angels, so we might be in Codenames mode by then. Football Thursday. We'll be back on Thursday. We'll talk about that. What
You're, like, fully getting ready for that day?
What juicy shore gossip do we have?
We'll be playing stuff.
We're gonna have a ton of content coming out with different shore activities. There's a lot of dogs here.
Wednesday's a big day.
There's 4 dogs here yesterday.
Yeah. Dog
A
festival.
lot of people were watching the Yankees yesterday. Went to the beach. It's pretty gray. It was overcast. Sun looks like it's out now.
Sun's out today.
I was drinking Trulies. We did a round robin of code names last night. Me and BBD were on a team. Wasn't our night.
Mm.
And that
I
happens.
love the way we played.
Our team dynamic was crisp. If everyone voted their favorite team, it's me, BBD, and Hoodie Glaber. An easy win. But sometimes the chips don't fall your way. If you have no idea what Codenames is, I'd look it up. It's a good time. We've been playing it a lot. To the point that there's certain words in the world that are now making me mad because they just pop up in different locations and I have to link them together. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to stop. And we kind of got to go anyways. Kind of have to use the bathroom. We're going to be doing Talking Yanks pregame show in a minute. Talking baseball will be happening. And then we're probably going to be watching Yankees game if you want to do that with us online or wherever. Yeah, we'll do some other content. It just got real. Beach Week, John Boy Media. Check out everything else on the network. Pinstripe Strong, Rose Rotation. Jimmy dropped a ton of breakdowns. Mansplaining girls are always up to something.
Think there's a new Talking Nets. New Talking Folk came out on Friday. There's a
with
new
Marcus.
Playing that came out.
Playing stuff is fun. Might have some Jersey Shore twist to that.
Talking Giants is still every day.
Yeah, season's almost here, man. Talking Giants. Hey, thanks everyone in the chat. You guys are the best. Content.